Roger Federer is unlikely to play at the Laver Cup this year after suffering a setback in his return from injury, according to reports. The tennis icon has apparently suffered a recurrence of the knee issue that has kept him out of action since Wimbledon 2021. Fans are understandably upset with the fact that they won't be able to see their icon in what was rumored to be his final tournament. Here's what we know so far. Starting off with a major setback. Roger Federer is reportedly in serious doubt for the Laver Cup. Later this month, it is supposed to be his return to tennis after over a year on the sidelines. The 41-year-old champion hasn't played since losing in the fourth round at Wimbledon in 2021 after undergoing his third knee surgery. The 20-time Grand Slam champion has been slowly working his way back to full fitness and is supposed to make his return to the Laver Cup on Saturday 23rd, teaming up with Rafa Nadal, Novak Djokovic, and Andy Murray on Team Europe. However, the return to fitness at the Laver Cup now seems unlikely as Federer's recovery has hit a fresh obstacle. Reports from people close to Federer suggest that he has suffered a devastating setback in his quest to play again. However, reports out of Switzerland have stated that Federer is highly unlikely to play. Even if he does decide to play, according to Swiss publication Taj and Zager, he'd been forced to play a lighter Laver Cup schedule. If it does play, he'd require to play at least one singles and one doubles match as per the rules of the event. Up next, let's take a look at why this is a big deal. If Federer is forced to miss the event, it would be a huge blow to organizers, with fans snapping up tickets and skyrocketing prices due to the prospect of seeing the Swiss legend play alongside great rivals Nadal, Djokovic, and Murray. Federer's last major public appearance came at the 2022 Wimbledon tournament, which was won by rival Novak Djokovic. And the Swiss champ was part of the tribute to Sue Barker, who was presenting at the Champions for the final time. The Laver Cup has been touted as the first time that all four members of the Big Four will play together on the same team. However, there are also doubts over Nadal's participation. Let's take a look at why Federer won't be playing. After two procedures on his knee back in 2020, Federer made a short-lived return in 2021 before re-injuring it. Togs and Zager also revealed that Federer had liquid in his right knee again and it had become inflamed. The setback is likely to rule him out of the Laver Cup, which begins in late September. Federer has been training with former professional player Ivo Hohenberger over the summer, and they practice at a lower intensity in a bid to ensure Federer gradually returns to the fitness levels required to compete at the top of the sport. The former world number one's only hope of returning in time to play the Basel-based tournament is that he still has over a month more of training. He must reduce the inflammation first though, and reports have been swirling that Federer is on the verge of announcing his retirement, but the 41-year-old hinted at Wimbledon in July that he wanted to play the grass court Grand Slam one last time. The 20-time Grand Slam champion had fans in a frenzy after posting a video of himself on the practice court. The short video shows Federer hitting a number of shots and moving freely on the troublesome knee that required surgery, and needless to say, it had fans eagerly anticipating his return to competitive tennis. What's more, if Federer does participate in the tournament, it will be a massive event. The tennis world erupted after the announcement that both Roger Federer and Rafa Nadal aim to play at the Laver Cup in 2022, which could see their pair team up in the doubles for the last time. Nadal returned from a 6-month layoff to complete one of his greatest ever comebacks to win the Australian Open and a record 21 Grand Slam titles. Like Federer, the 35-year-old Spaniard missed Wimbledon, the Olympics, and the US Open as a result of a foot injury that prompted him to consider calling time on his career. However, Nadal prevailed in what we described as the greatest comeback in the Open era to defeat Daniil Medvedev in the final. Tennis fans still vividly remember the iconic scenes when Nadal teamed up to play doubles together at the first edition of the Laver Cup. And with both players in the twilight of their careers, fans couldn't have been more excited for one last chance to see the two legends on the same side of the court. Nadal had also said that the chance of taking the court with his friend maybe one last time during their professional careers would be a special experience. Roger has been a huge part of my career, a big rival, and also a true friend, Nadal said. On the other hand, it seems like Nadal might be facing some problems of his own. Rafa Nadal has made the sad admission that he's not sure when he will play again after his shock loss to Francis Tiafoe at the US Open. Tiafoe ended Nadal's 22-match winning streak at Grand Slam tournaments this year after beating the 22-time Grand Slam champion in the fourth round on Monday. Speaking in his post-match press conference, Nadal made the shocking revelation that he doesn't know when he'll play again. His wife, Ziska, is also 34 weeks pregnant with their first child, and Nadal has previously stated that he doesn't want to start a family until after his career has ended, leading many to speculate that that the 36-year-old will soon retire. Nadal's comments appear to suggest that he's considering skipping the upcoming Laver Cup due to take place from 23rd of September to 26th of September. Before Monday's loss, Nadal was 22-0 in Grand Slam matches this year, having won the Australian and French Opens before withdrawing before the semifinals at Wimbledon. The Spanish champion was 21-1 against Americans since October 2017, which included straight-set wins over TFO in the Australian Open quarterfinals and Madrid third round, both in 2019. Meanwhile, in other tennis-related news, first up, Bob Bryan will serve as the acting U.S. Davis Cup captain. Mardy Fish contracted COVID. U.S. Davis Cup captain Mardy Fish will miss the group stage matches in Glasgow, Scotland next week because he got COVID-19, and Bob Bryan will fill in as acting captain. In a statement released by the U.S. Tennis Association, Fish said that, "I'm gutted not to be able to be there after putting a ton of work into this team and trying to win for the U.S." Bryan won 16 Grand Slam doubles championship with his twin brother Mike and was on the U.S. team that won the Davis Cup title in 2007. He competed in the Davis Cup from 2003 to 2020. In March, he also held a coaching role under Fish for a Davis Cup qualifying victory over Colombia. For now, group stage matches also will be held in Italy, Spain, and Germany, with the top two teams from each group advancing to the Davis Cup finals in Malaga, Spain from November 22nd to November 27th. Next up, Carlos Alcaraz outlasts Jannik Sinner to make US Open semifinal. This was a match that simply wouldn't end. Should not end, one might say. Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner, two of the brightest young stars of men's tennis, traded shots of the highest quality and countless momentum swings across 5 sterling sets for 5 hours and 15 minutes until Alcaraz finally won the last point at 2:50 a.m. Thursday, the latest finish in US Open history. It was only a quarterfinal with no trophy at stake, yet was a taut as a thriller as this tournament has produced, or likely will a tour de force of big cuts on the full sprint and plenty of guts, a victory for the number 3 seeded Alcaraz, a 19-year-old from Spain. When the 382nd and final point was over, Sinner and Alcaraz hugged each other. A handshake of the net wouldn't have sufficed. Alcaraz reached his first Grand Slam semifinal and is the youngest man to get this far at the US Open since Pete Sampras won the title at 19 in 1990. And lastly, Frances Tiafoe becomes the first American man to make the US Open semifinal since 2006. About 20 minutes after Frances Tiafoe earned the first trip to the US Open semifinals Wednesday by an American man since 2006, he met up in an Arthur Ashe Stadium foyer with a host of friends, Washington Wizards all-star guard Bradley Beal among them. Most assuredly a showman and someone striving for years for this sort of success on big stages, Tiafoe sure is enjoying the ride, as are his pals, his parents, and the partisan fans, who last celebrated a Grand Slam trophy for a man from the United States 2 decades ago. And that's a wrap for this video. Do you think Roger Federer will be taking part in this year's Laver Cup? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.